Hi, I'm Gia Mills and welcome to True Reflections, the beauty podcast where I get my guests to reflect on how they feel about their appearance and when the glare of the media is upon them. And who better to have as my guest this week? We have come out of the studio. We are in number 1 Mayfair, a super snazzy hotel, and I have literally the person who has been making Hollywood women and men look incredible on the red carpet and all over LA and Hollywood and beyond. I'm very happy to be introducing Jimmy Coco.
Well, hello.
In the UK, people are going to get to know you even better, but I want to be the first person to expose the sort of the beauty and the backstory in your world.
Okay.
So you have been one of the biggest tanners to the biggest names in the world for a long, long time.
Yes.
And they're all going to see your new products that are coming out, how they can look tan. But let's go back. I want to know a bit more about you from the early days. Tell me the young Jimmy and the early stories about you and how you feel about, you felt about your appearance.
So I was born in the northwest of the United States in Washington State, and then grew up in Sacramento, California. Sacramento, California was a very, I think, kind of a closed off place to live. So I really found freedom and joy in the sport of gymnastics. So my twin brother and I, we did gymnastics for many years in Sacramento and graduated, went to junior college there, then took a break and decided to go to Miami to live my life, come out of the closet and be myself. So I was in Miami for 3 years, and what happened was I was scouted to be a sportswear and underwear model from the bar that I was bartending at.
Okay.
Yeah, on South Beach. So I became this popular swimwear and sportswear model, which was great. And when I landed on a magazine cover, I was like, this is so incredible. So I guess all those years of gymnastics paid off because I ended up with like this apparently incredible body that was, worthy of being photographed and in magazines. So that was fun. Never meant to do that. It just sort of came with the job of being a gymnast. So I did that. We were in Miami for 3 years. Then we moved to LA to be closer to family in California. Just didn't want to go back to Sacramento. And
Was it sunny in Sacramento?
What's that?
Was it sunny in Sacramento?
It was sunny in Sacramento, but I have to tell you, it's a valley, and I was allergic to every tree, every weed, everything that grew in that valley that was just going like this. I was getting allergy shots every week, like 2 shots in each arm, which was really rough because being a gymnast, I'm like, on the parallel bars, I'm like right here where I'm getting these injections. It was just, it was
But you
horrible.
it wasn't about looking body beautiful in the tan. It's when you got to LA, it's like, oh.
Right.
This, how did you then sort of get into sort of the body world of
when
tanning?
I was scouted, so I laid in tanning beds way back. I did lay in tanning beds, and now we know how horrible that was, and I see like the sun damage or the UV damage that happened. But I kept myself ready for the call of being in those magazines or whatever it was that we were doing. It was very exciting. It was very fun. I kept myself tan, and on the shoot, they would cover my port wine stained birthmark that I have on my chest with body makeup. And so I found it really fascinating, and I'm telling you, I couldn't believe the first time that I saw myself without the birthmark. I was like, wow, that was the first time that I was like really impressed with my physique. And I was really fascinated, like somebody could like fix that.
Did you feel were you quite self-conscious of it
I was very
up?
self-conscious of it because I was teased as a kid. Yeah, I was teased at the community swimming pool. I would get teased. Kids are horrible. They're very brutal and honest. So that's just what it was. I'm not affected by it today anymore, but it was really great. That was my first boost of confidence, was really seeing that. So moved to LA. And in LA, I was doing music in Miami, so I brought the music to LA, and I was thinking maybe
you were writing music.
Yeah, writing music
Okay.
and singing.
Were you?
Yes, recording music. So came to LA and was trying to kind of get the music thing going, but it was a different time back then. And I felt more like a steak sandwich than I did a musician.
Did you feel like a steak
meetings.
sandwich?
Yes, it was
What's
really,
a steak sandwich?
It was really, really weird. Some of the meetings were really weird. And we all know about the Me Too movement and like all of that stuff. But that's what it felt like back then. So
well, when you say a meat sandwich, you felt like a piece, we'd say probably a piece of meat.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the twins. And there was this like big
rather than
gay
being who you were.
fantasy. It was just really bad. So we auditioned for a spot on Chippendales, and we started singing for
this is
the
you
group.
And your twin brother?
Yes, my twin brother and I. Yeah, so it was nice. We took our shirt off. We did some songs. We toured around the world. It was great. Came back, and then I thought maybe I'll go on some auditions. So I landed Terminator 3. So I played the stripper in Terminator 3. So all of these things that came along, I kept myself tan for.
Can
right?
we just go back to this? You were in Terminator 3.
Yes.
You were the stripper in
Yes.
Terminator 3. I'm going to have to go and watch that.
Oh my gosh.
Did you tan your body for that?
Yes, I was tanning my body for that. I needed to be tan because I thought I was taking my clothes off. So they wanted me to work out and gain this weight so I could be more like Arnold Schwarzenegger, because I was the guy that Arnold got his clothes from in the movie. So he walks into the bar, I'm the stripper, I tell him to talk to the hand, he grabs my hand, he kills me, and then he grabs my clothes, and then he goes on. It's a really funny scene if you haven't seen it. It's Terminator 3.
Watch
Yeah,
that.
really funny.
Okay.
So tanning. Then I got another bartending job in LA, and I was doing that, but one night, late at night, I saw this infomercial about spray tans. And so instantly I thought, ooh, this could be a side business. This is something that I could do to help other models if they have skin imperfections, just like me. So I bought the thing, and I put paper towels on an easel like an artist, and it was just this little stylus thing, and I'm like doing these little circles back and forth, and I was really focused on staying the right distance away from the paper towel and making everything super, super, super consistent, so there were no light or dark areas on the paper towel when I was done, right? So that's how I taught myself. It was really
You were
just,
self-taught tanner.
yeah.
Incredible.
So I was hanging out. I had a friend at the time, and it was so funny. He said, come over and let's hang by the pool. So I came over and hung by the pool, and then he tells me, hey, I have a friend who is being chased by the paparazzi right now. And I'm just like, okay, this is the weirdest thing I've ever heard, because I was not into Hollywood at all. I was just, bartending. I, was kind of setting up shop like in the gym. I thought maybe I would get other models or bodybuilders or whoever needed a tan. Never, ever expecting ever. I didn't have my sights set on Hollywood at all. That wasn't the goal. If it came along, great, but it wasn't like what I set out to do. It was all by accident. So he tells me, it's my friend, her name is Laura Flynn Boyle, you probably know her, and at the time, this TV show called The Practice was like one of my favorite TV shows, and she was one of the lawyers on the show. So she comes out, and I'm just literally so starstruck because I was a fan of hers, and my friend introduced Laura to Laura. He says, hey, this is my friend Jimmy, he's a celebrity tanner. Because I had told him that I was learning how to do this, but I hadn't done it on anyone yet.
This is a fake it till you make it kind
and
of
she was
scenario.
like, well, what does that mean? And he goes, oh, he's going to go to your house and do a spray tan for you. And so instantly she says, well, I have the blue carpet for Men in Black 2. Can you give me a tan for the premiere? And I'm thinking, no, I can't, but I can't say no. So I was like, sure. And I was like so stressed because now all I could think about is I need to leave and get back on the easel and like keep practicing. It was horrific. It was so scary. So I had committed to doing this spray tan that I wasn't ready to do.
So
that I
Laura
had
Flynn Boyle
to do
was your first
for
client.
Laura Flynn Boyle, my very first client. I will never forget it, and I absolutely love her to this day. I haven't seen her or heard from her, but anyways, I'll never forget her. I couldn't believe it was that simple. LFB cell phone number. Okay. And I was like, how is this happening?
And that was the start.
That was the start.
And who did you look up to growing up? Like as a child growing up, you particularly, you weren't in California then, but on the movies, or who do you look up to as a sort of icon of beauty and attractiveness?
So sadly, being gay, trying to grow up in Sacramento and all of that, it was really rough. So I looked up to the $6 Million Man.
Oh, yes. Was that,
and the Incredible Hulk.
What was his name? Bruce, no.
That was Lee Majors.
Lee Majors.
Yeah.
Oh, he was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, I know he was. So I looked up to Lee Majors. But regarding beauty, I was just a kid living in the suburb of Sacramento. My mom wasn't working. My stepdad, sadly, my father passed away in a car accident when I was 2.
Oh, okay.
So then we had a stepdad, which was like, it was a very challenging childhood, to say the least. So I spent a lot of times at the gym, gymnastics. I stayed as much time out of the house as I possibly could. So I was really just focused on, I looked up to Bart Connor and Kurt Thomas. These are very famous gymnasts from back in the day. And I really looked up to, I had a personal gymnastics coach named Keb that is like an older brother to me still today. I looked up to him. So I didn't really have any sort of beauty influence. My mom, she wasn't like, a glam queen or anything like that. She just kind of curled her hair. She didn't really do anything crazy. Yeah, she didn't have a skincare routine. I didn't learn about that until I got to Miami and could come out of the closet and just be myself.
Yeah. So how was it, were men then in Miami, were they wearing makeup? Were they very engaged and leaning into the products and how they looked?
Oh my God. Have you been to Miami? Have you seen the drag queens?
Okay.
Oh my gosh. If you learn anything from a drag queen, it's moisturizer, sunscreen, more moisturizer. I'm not that type of makeup person. So there's a lot of men that do wear makeup, and that's great for them. I've just never been the makeup type. I did experiment with foundations and stuff like that, but I never really fell in love with anything until spray tan.
Spray tan. So do you now spray tan yourself?
I tanned my face before this interview. And in case people don't know, I did tan the movie Magic Mike.
Oh, did you?
With Matthew McConaughey. Oh my gosh, I have a really, really funny story about Matthew McConaughey. Can I tell you the story? Okay, so I'm at the Beverly Hills Hotel, and I'm scheduled to do the Magic Mike movie. Came to me through Laura Prepon, who was my client back then, who played Donna on that 70s show. And we were super close back then and tanning all the time. And she said, hey, my friend's working on this new show, Magic Mike. And I was like, this is great. It's like a full circle moment for me. I worked on Chippendales for a while, did a world tour, sang. I took my shirt off, they clapped. So it was kind of fun. But it was really exciting for me to be on this job doing spray tans for this.
Were you doing Matthew McConaughey on the show?
Back to that because I so get off track. So I was scheduled for Matthew at the Beverly Hills Hotel. So I get there early, of course. Everyone knows I'm early. I think on time is late. So I'm always 15 minutes early. Always on the dot 15 minutes early to set up and be ready to start on time. So I'm sitting in the lobby, and it's our third visit, right? I'm sitting in the lobby, and I hear Matthew McConaughey from across the lobby, Jimmy Coco, where's Jimmy Coco? And I was like, oh my God, I'm sitting here alone. None of my friends are going to believe this. None of my friends will believe this.
The God that is Matthew McConaughey.
That Matthew McConaughey was shouting my name from across the lobby at the Beverly Hills Hotel. It was such a moment for me. I just wish that I could have that on camera.
And then you got to make him look great in a tan.
And then I absolutely made them all look incredible for the tan.
Because, LA, Hollywood, entertainment now, everyone, a lot of people are taking the Ozempics of this world.
Right.
Do you find, you're obviously seeing this manifest itself with people because you sprayed people with very little clothes on.
Yeah.
Do you have to change your tanning technique? What's happening in the tan world? What are your thoughts about Ozempic, etc.?
Can I say maybe I use a little less spray? I don't know. I know I can say that my brother is on a journey. And that journey has worked out really well for him. It lowers cholesterol. It reverses some of those issues. I'm not an expert at that sort of thing, but I can say since learning about my brother's journey, I think that it's such an amazing thing available, these GLP-1s, for people to reverse their cholesterol and all of the health issues associated with being overweight.
Are you seeing there's a lot of people are getting more confidence?
People are getting a lot more confidence. So what happens is we eat and we keep eating, and I think especially in America, I think that, with all the sugar and the high fructose corn syrup, we're addicted to the food that we eat, and we keep eating. And it's really a shame. So it really is the gatekeeper on your appetite, the Ozempics, because you're still eating, you're just not eating as much, which is really fantastic. So for me, I went through this journey of, obviously my childhood was not easy. Growing up being gay, having a stepfather who was homophobic, and being teased in school, getting teased about my birthday at the birthmark at the pool, and all of those things, and really just finding, complete safety in the sport of gymnastics and with my gymnastics family. I developed a lot of anxieties and things through my childhood. So I finally, later in life, did find therapy, and I saw a psychiatrist for the first time, which was amazing. I was able to have the psychiatrist say some things to me that made perfect sense. And with the things that he said to me, we were able to get on medication to help those things. I think that...
Do you find now that... thank you for sharing all of that, because it's good to hear it all. But I think, you've got two things. You've got, the medication for anxiety, etc., versus being slim, being tan, looking good. If you had to pick one, which one do you think is the one that you'd lean into more?
I'm going to say both, and here's why. So I finally found happiness and freedom. I finally found happiness and freedom through my psychiatrist, but I also found myself 30 pounds heavier. So the problem was I couldn't do the things that I enjoyed, which is my outdoor adventures. I live near Runyon Canyon. I've lived near Runyon Canyon for 20 years. It's absolutely home to me, and I am so grateful for that hike that I have. I am creative on that hike. I have cried on that hike. I have celebrated on that hike. That hike is everything to me. I absolutely love living there. But I had a really hard time hiking because I was afraid I was going to blow out a knee.
Because you were heavier.
And even a good spray tan fat looks better than white fat, so even a good spray tan wasn't really helping. So I went back to my doctor and I said, we have to figure out something so that I'm happy, but I'm not able to be living the life that I used to live, which is the hiking and all of that stuff. So we had to go down this path of, and anyone who's listening to this podcast, or you, or anyone who understands, depression and any sort of a mental health issue, there's a journey that happens. You have to try the medication, and even if it's not working at first, you got to stay on it for a while to see that if it's going to if it will work. So I had a very challenging year and a half of that. Like some of the medications, I was afraid. I would wake up and I would be so scared to walk down the stairs in the morning to make my coffee. It was like really crazy. So I told my doctor, we need to find something. So we found Weight Neutral. And so it absolutely worked for me. I was able to lose the weight.
So the combination of the medication and staying fit, healthy, slim, that body confidence, those two combined make the sweet spot.
Absolutely, because I was trying to stay fit and I was going to the gym, but I was fighting a losing battle because of the way these medications work on the brain. I was never going to lose those 30 pounds, ever. And I was working out and killing myself trying to. It just wasn't going to happen until I switched.
And do you find now that your clients, the ones that have been on these medications to help lose weight, do you see a difference in them? Do they feel more confident? Is there something, what are you seeing in them?
I'm seeing, and the people that I see, both in work and in my own family, I'm seeing a level of confidence that is so great. The tan on top of that level of confidence, and the confidence that the tan brings, is incredible. For myself, I'm not on a GLP-1, but I do take medications to remain happy, because I can slip down, and the tan on top of it. Like, my face mist has just completely changed my life, because I absolutely love just a quick.
When you have that what a tan does, because it's amazing how a tan can be transformative to one's confidence.
Absolutely.
And it is absolutely phenomenal. What are the things coming up that, like, any new tricks that you're doing with any of your clients that sort of you can share with us today? So
there's tricks that I can do for my clients that you can also do at home. I guess one of the tricks that I do, and it's funny because Kim and I have been doing this for years.
Kim is one of your clients.
Kim Kardashian. Oh, Kim's been with me for 17 years.
You've been doing Kim for
17 years?
Wow.
Yeah, Kim for 17 years. Kylie and Kendall. I mean, I met Kendall and Kylie when they were 10 and 11, but I didn't start tanning them until later.
Yeah.
When Kylie turned 18, and Kim was like, I'm trying to get Kylie. So she had said, hey, we're gonna get Kylie tanning with you, because they had their whole thing. They're starting their industries and stuff. So I'm so blessed and I'm so proud to be their tan man. You have no idea. I absolutely love it. It's part of my identity.
They all go to, they have you as their go-to, and you
absolutely.
Do you travel with them?
I travel. There are moments that I wake up to, can you be in a foreign country today? And the thing about my job, and I can say this, let's go back to the hacks.
Yeah. So tell me about the hack.
The hacks that we
do. Who you do it with.
So with Kim, we have been tanning her hair parting.
Oh, yeah.
For years. Nobody knows. We talked about it. I did mention it maybe 10 plus years ago, and then we never talked about it again, but we've been doing it. And so I think with other clients that just kind of pull their hair back, the hair parting isn't there to do it, but Kim always has her hair part, so we always tan her hair part.
So is this lighter? The hair parting is lighter?
Yes, the scalp is lighter than the face, and especially if we tan the face kind of dark, and people in America get darker tans because the active ingredient is higher in America, which we can talk about that too. So we do the hair parting, and then I always give everyone abs, and then everyone always gets a really sharp jawline contour. So I always do a little extra around my jaw and my neck to frame my face nicely. Because, hey,
and
why not?
Your clients like that?
Yes, and so whenever I'm teaching someone to use the face mist, I say, hey, this is how you can frame your face really well. But the difference between tanning in the UK versus tanning in America is, and especially in developing product here, is the product in the UK is not as dark, which is a shame because everyone's so pale.
It's a regular... Everyone in the UK, it rains a lot here, as you know.
This week, I have seen some of the most beautiful, pale skin in my life. And I'm so happy when I see pale skin and I have my spray gun in my hand, because I get to fix that. And
how have you found the women? Because you've been doing a press junket this week.
Yes.
Launching your new improved souffle that is a gorgeous colour.
Back to the original formula that everyone loves.
It's got a really beautiful hue to it, actually, because it's not as orange as well. But do you see women, their confidence, how they feel in themselves when you've tanned them? What is it like the transformation? So I get people like in their robes and their pajamas, and they're so happy to see me, and they can't wait to get started, right? And the feeling that people have after the tan is done, and they're just so excited about it. I'm like, okay, so I'm leaving. How are they going to go to sleep? They're just too excited right now. They want to show it off.
Yeah, everyone's too excited. They're tan. I don't know how they're going to fall asleep, especially with Kim, because most of our tans are at midnight. I don't know if anybody knows that. But so when you look at our...
What happens?
When you look at our Instagram page, right? When you look at the Instagram page, everything looks amazing. And, and I send you guys the photos, and it's like, here, see this, see this, see this. And, it looks like, so I showed up and I did a spray tan. It is not like that. There's security measures you go through. There's waiting you go through, especially if the nail lady was late. I was recently on location with Kylie, and the nail lady came down, and she saw me, and she looked. Her eyes got really big. She came over. She grabbed my hand. She goes, "I am so sorry." And I was like, "For what?" And she goes, "Whenever I'm running behind, I know that you're going to have a late night. And I always see your car there with you waiting." And I'm just like, oh my God, thank you.
So they
for
call
that.
you can be called at any time?
Yes. Yeah. Am I available in an hour? And a last minute shoot can come up. A lot of my clients like that.
Tell me your go-to makeup products. What are the things that you are, if you had 3 products, you can't live without beauty, grooming products, what are they?
So a couple of years ago, I was going on QVC here in the UK, which was a dream come true because I've always wanted to do that. And our PR introduced me to Karen Bartov here. So I went to Karen Bartov and I had an incredible facial treatment. So I got 2 of her serums, and I love Karen Bartov, and I've been a fan of hers for so many years. So I have her serums. I forget which one. I use one in the morning and I use one in the evening. So those are like my go-tos. One is pink and one is yellow. I can't remember like off the top of my head right now. And I probably get it wrong. I probably use the evening one in the morning because I'm just like in a hurry. But I love those products.
What else?
In America, there's a guy named John Tu. And he does incredible facials. So he has a serum called Deep Fill. I use that. I use he's got a hydration spray called something Veil. And so you kind of spray it over your face, and there's like a whole step thing to do. And I asked him, I said, "Hey, can you do my face before I leave? I'm going to be doing a lot of press." So we tried to make it work, but he was working back to back to back. And so it was like, okay, don't worry. So I couldn't see him, but I was able to use his products. But I was able to go in and see my girl. So Elize from Yumi Lashes, she's incredible.
Do you have your lashes done?
I didn't get my lashes done.
Do you normally have your lashes done?
I don't, but she's dying to do my lashes. The thing about it is I don't think I could lay there for an hour and a half. I'm too fidgety.
Does she curl them or dye them?
She is a lash lift expert. So she lifts the lashes, and she does everyone in Hollywood, people that she can't talk about, people that she can. She's her name is Elize with Yumi Lashes USA. She has this beautiful studio, and so I called her, and I know that they do facials there. I forget the name of the girl that did a treatment for me, so I was able to get a facial treatment. She totally hooked me up. I mean, the girl who did my facial, she stayed after work. Elize, I do her spray tans, and she literally hooks me up at the studio. And she's been my mentor because my master class is starting. So she's been my mentor for
facials
that.
Are a big thing.
Facials are a big thing.
Any other products you use by any chance?
There's this guy in Hollywood who does these really great spray tans, if you've heard of him. His name is Jimmy Coco.
Oh, tell me more about
Yes.
He has a product, does he?
He has a product called Sunless by Jimmy Coco. And I absolutely love the face mist. I mean, I've used the souffle. It's Tinted Tan Souffle. And we have light, medium, and dark. They're very easy to use. The products are so incredible. The hyaluronic acid, the low molecular weight hyaluronic acid, which
smells
is important,
incredible.
is paired with pentavitin. Pentavitin comes from corn. So you get that moisture, which, everyone knows. And if you don't know, hyaluronic acid pulls 1,000 times its weight in water to your skin. The pentavitin keeps it there for the next 3 days. So you have really beautiful, hydrated skin for the next few days. And then you're going to start applying lotion. It smells incredible. We did a unisex fragrance, like I mentioned before. The boyfriends love it on their girlfriends. They love waking up to it. So it has fig at the heart. It has cedarwood and crisp coconut at the base with top notes of apple. It's absolutely refreshing. It's beautiful. And everyone who came in to get a fake tan, my fake tan, loved it. And it's never going to smell like that biscuity smell because...
So this you use on yourself, and you use the face mist as well.
Yes. So we have AromaGuard. AromaGuard is a patented technology that eliminates that fake tan smell. And then on top of it, we have the fine fragrance. So you're always just going to smell beautiful. It's never going to smell like fake tan. I'm really proud of that because nobody has time for that. To smell like a biscuit.
No, we don't want to smell like a biscuit. I mean, I like a biscuit.
Nobody has time to smell like a biscuit.
What would be your favourite biscuit in the UK? If you could eat
Oh my gosh, I haven't had a biscuit in so long, but biscuits and gravy for breakfast.
Biscuits and gravy for breakfast. Well, like, that's a good thing to know.
Yeah, it's like a white sausage gravy. I'm sure that it is so bad, cholesterol and all that stuff.
Well, you can do. I think one can do it occasionally.
Yeah, occasionally. Yeah.
But Jimmy, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for
and
having
having
me.
a conversation, and lovely to share some of the top tips. And I know everyone's going to have more questions. We'll try and get those answered. A massive thank you to Jimmy Coco. You can get his tanning brand, Sunless by Jimmy Coco, by visiting www.jimmycoco.co.uk. That's it for True Reflections this week. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe wherever you are watching or listening. You can find me across your social media by searching at True Reflections Podcast. I'll be back next week with another celebrity to talk through their beauty experiences, their favourite products, and delve deeper into how the ideals of beauty shapes not just our physical appearance, but the core of our identity. Until then, have a lovely week.